Surya, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I walked in this morning and my word of the morning is, this is extraordinary.
Here at the Westport Library today, David, we have a World Cubing Association event happening. We have about 95 competitors from the tri-state area who are solving all kinds of different cubes.
And it's not just cubes, they're out there working on pyramids right now.
Pyramids right now,
Yeah.
exactly. So we call them different types of puzzles. So this morning we already had 3x3, we had the first round. Now they're doing pyramids, which is a triangular shaped pyramid. Next up is going to be Megaminx, which is a dodecahedron, a 10-sided puzzle. You have to solve all sides. And we've got many more, 4x4, square one, and then we have the final rounds after lunch.
Back this up, tell me how this began. Your son's been involved with this.
Yes.
And involved with the Westport Library, correct?
Yes. So when our son Krish was in 4th grade, he started to volunteer upstairs at the children's section of the library, and did that for about 7-8 years. He's been solving the Rubik's Cube and going to competitions since he was 13 years old. And so it's been 7 years now.
Has he managed to solve it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
In just a few seconds. I would hope
How many
after
seconds?
7 years.
Get this, how many seconds to do it?
So 3x3, he's at around 7.5 seconds.
What's a 3x3?
3 across and the 3 down.
Got it, okay, so the
Yes.
traditional Rubik's Cube,
That everybody would know.
7 seconds.
Yeah, 7.5 seconds. The Rubik's Cube community is phenomenal. They actually help each other. They give away their secrets to each other to help each other get better. We've been to Australia for Worlds. We've been to a bunch of different national championships. We were just in Toronto for the North American Championships. And when he and the library, we are just so grateful because the library has opened its doors and said, yes, we can have up to 100 competitors in the forum, has provided the space, has provided the people to help us put this together. Usually it's just run by the moms and the dads and the cubers themselves. We are so grateful, and it's a beautiful space. And everybody who walks into the library says, this is your library? It's outrageous.
And we are in the control room because it's so noisy out there, but we will go out there as well. What does your son do? He's not 13 anymore.
No, he's not 13. So he has gone off to college. He was a Staples graduate, class of 2020, and he went away to WPI, Worcester Polytechnic, and that's where he is right now. He finished his 2nd year. He started now in his 3rd year there. And but he still competes. He loves it. And some of his nearest friends are from the cubing world because they've been together since they were in middle school.
So as parents, what was it like when he was busy doing this cubing? Were you like, cut it out, get him hit the books?
Oh, that definitely happened.
Right.
When he first started and he was starting to get really obsessive, we said, we'll only take you to one competition every 3 or 4 months. And then we slowly moved it up to once a month. But you know, it's such a great thing to do. He's not playing video games. He's not looking at his cell phone. He's sitting there doing the cube. He's solving cubes. And the very interesting thing is, all of his friends are from all over the country and all over the world. So during the pandemic, when we were all stuck at home, they were doing video chats and solving together with friends from Australia, friends from India, friends from California, friends from Philly. And it was a great community for him, and it kind of got him through the hump of being at home during the pandemic.
Neurologically, is there anything you think about cubing that's stimulated or developed his mind in a particular way?
I think it helps all these people who solve these puzzles. They're very quick. They're very quick to recognize a pattern, and they're very quick to execute on it. So just to give you a bit of background, all of the scrambles are actually done by a computer. So a cuber will never see the same scramble in his or her lifetime. So
Prompting a question from me.
Yes.
So when I saw you starting out there, are they putting the Rubik's Cube, let's say, into a specific layout so that everyone starts from the same point?
No.
Wow.
No. So it's
That's
all
a shock.
done by the computer.
Right.
So it just depends randomly where your cube ends up.
Yep.
And what is the scramble that you get.
So they have to solve from whatever the chance is
Absolutely.
of how it is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And they can't look at somebody sitting next to them and say, oh, I've got the same scramble. Maybe they most likely don't.
Right.
So what they do is they ask the cuber, they say, are you ready? And they say, yes. So the judge lifts the cover and has up to 12 to 15 seconds to inspect the cube. And then he says, okay, and then he starts the timer and he solves it and then hits the timer again. And that's how they do it. But it's completely randomized and it's different. So the speed really comes from how many algorithms have you actually memorized.
Right.
So Krish has memorized hundreds of algorithms so he can solve them quicker. And he's got different cubes that he works with. He does the pyraminx, he does the megaminx, he does square one, he does 3x3, 4x4, 5. He's done blind solving as well, where you
What
get,
is that? Go on.
So, yeah.
I can only imagine.
Oh, it's crazy, David. So what they do is they have the scramble, but here with blind, they start the timer as soon as they start inspecting the cube.
Right.
And so that time is factored into, and then they say, okay, and they put their blindfold on, and the judge puts a piece of cardboard paper, so it's double, and then they solve it. And
Wow.
it's very inefficient, I
Purely
guess.
by hand. They know where they've got to put it.
They have to.
That is
So they'll use
unbelievable.
things like rooms of a house, colors. They'll use music notes. They'll use, if I go into this room, I solve it this way. They all have their own methodology
Wow.
of solving blind.
Yeah. So it's a memory thing.
It is a memory
They've
thing.
memorized it in a visual way. So when
Exactly.
they're blindfold, they're working through something,
That's
but
right.
they're not actually
That's right.
seeing it. It's
Yes,
just
yes.
extraordinary. And their hands, I mean, their ability with their thumbs to spin. And
Yes.
so is there a particular grade of cube or pyramid? Because they seem to smoothly spin.
So they might lube it a little bit too.
Right.
So a lot of the people who cube, they will take the cube apart, put maybe some springs in or take some springs out. They inject it with some lube. They
Right.
may not take some lube out
Yeah.
because you don't want to overspin either
Okay.
because you could
But
be at
I
a
mean, are there
deficit.
rules like that
Yeah, there
stop
are
you,
some rules.
like
There's some
deflating a
rules.
football? That was
Right,
a big deal,
exactly, exactly. I think they have kind of some standards. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they do have some standards, yeah.
wasn't it? Okay, so we're going to break from here and we're going to take a look outside and you'll see how it works. Thank you.
You.
You got to get this, all right? How many seconds?
Like on average about 7.
All right, and go. Now this is Krish. While he's busy doing that, he could chat with me as well, I'm sure. But this is a Rubik's Cube, and done. Yes, awesome. Good job.
Thanks.
Now you've been doing this since when?
7th grade.
Seventh
Yeah, like
grade.
beginning of 7th grade. So it's been like almost 8 years.
And I asked your mum, didn't you say, stop that with the Rubik's Cube, get the books and get to work?
Yeah, no, I got a lot of that for however long I was middle school plus high school. Yeah. No.
And where are you going with this? Where are you now for a start?
I go to Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Right.
I'm a rising junior. I'm a data science major.
A data science
Yeah.
major. Yes.
And I mean, with cubing, I don't know. I mean, I've been doing it for so long. I'm just trying to, keep getting faster. This is my first competition I've been like the lead organizer of, and I'm really happy to bring cubing to Westport. I hopefully want to do more of these, and I want to continue to get faster at my main events. But also, I'm in college now. It's definitely gotten a little harder to practice, but I'm still trying to keep up with it. I definitely don't have as much time as I did, when I first started cubing in middle school. But we still find time.
So let's back this up. Here we are. The event is called what?
Westport Summer 2022. So, just the name of the town, the season, and the year.
And cubing is generically what it's generically called,
Yeah.
but there are all different shapes and sizes
So
now of
yeah,
cube.
for example, like this is a 3x3.
Right.
And so three pieces by 3 pieces.
Yep.
And in the World Cube Association, it sanctions events. There are 17 different sanctioned events. So there's 2x2 all the way through 7x7. Then there's pyraminx, there's megaminx, which you'll see after pyraminx. Square one, which is later today. We have 4x4 this competition, but there's also like one-handed solving.
And what are the numbers? You're a numbers guy.
If I had to estimate, around like 100,000 people in the World Cube Association database, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, a typical competition will run about like 100 people with a wait list of about like 70-ish people. So if you were to let in like every single registration, you would probably end up with about 200 competitors, depending, especially in this area. The Northeast region has been kind of like competition starved for a while because of the pandemic.
Right.
And all the like main organizers who lived around this area, like, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, a lot of us went to college and moved. Like my friend Chris goes to Carnegie Mellon now, and he lived in like the New York area. So that's an organizer gone.
So that you're doing today,
Yes.
you brought it to us, Westport
Yes.
Library. Fantastic
yes,
that you
thank
did.
you. It's been a dream of mine for a while, so.
And an extraordinary. All I've said this morning is this is extraordinary. When I walked in, the number of people.
Yeah.
You know, the age range is you know
Yeah.
the whole thing is well. There's the word again. Extraordinary.
Yeah.
What you're doing is also particularly pertinent. I believe
Thank
you
you.
in your college had an experience through the pandemic of great tragedy.
Yeah, we did. Yes, this happened. So this competition, we've decided to donate all the proceeds to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and then any competition I organize at my school as well, funds will be donated to similar organizations. It's just it's something that's been very like affecting like my college especially. We had we had a lot of tragedy last year.
Westport Library welcomes you.
Yeah, thank you.
And way to go for what
Yeah.
you're doing. And
Yeah.
as a parent, it has me wake up to, do you know what? You know, great things can come from interesting quarters.
Yeah, of course.
And
I mean, yeah.
cubing is one I just
Who
was
thought,
so
right?
Exactly. Thank you for bringing you and your
Yeah.
organization to the
course,
Westport Library.
I love the library. I worked here as a children's section volunteer
Yep.
for like 9 years. I worked right up there from the age of like 9 to 18.
Yep.
And the library's always been a super welcoming space. And I'm so glad that the first competition in Westport happened here. And also this is the first competition in Connecticut in over 2 years, first post-pandemic competition in Connecticut.
Right.
So I'm really glad that it was able to be, you know, my team and at the Westport Library. It's a place that's like, you know, really near and dear to my heart.
And a little special because we have the tech gear, which
Oh
is
yeah,
kinda,
it's incredible. People have been coming up to me already. Like we've only been here for like 3 hours, and they're like, "Wow, man, this competition, crazy cool, dude. You're doing awesome stuff." So yeah, I'm really appreciative of the space and the technology. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. I really appreciate it. It's amazing.